Hello YouTube, the Blob, aka Matthew Craig here, and this is a game of 9th Age. We got Empire of Sandstal versus Orcs and Goblins, but really just goblins. We're doing 3,000 points, and this is actually part of a campaign that my friend George and I put together. I'll do a separate video on all that, but the Empire is on the assault into Orc territory. And we're all set up. We haven't done vanguards or anything, so let me just run through the armies real fast. 7 spider riders, no command, no nothing, throwing weapons. Skewer. There's a get launcher behind 33 goblins, spear, cave goblins, spear, shield, full command, 2 mad gets, and then in there at the corner is a general and a BSB and a chief with nothing. Giant spider finally starting to get painted. Great green idol finally painted up in a reasonable fashion. 33 more cave goblins, spear, shield, full command with 2 throwaway chiefs at the front rank, and finally on the very end a skewer. And that brings us to George's Empire Sandstal army.
Imperial riders with heavy armor and a brace of pistols, a cannon with crew with an artificer in close contact to them, Imperial Guard, full command, a great weapon and a rending banner.
Yes, yes.
In front, light infantry with a handgun. In back of them, electoral cavalry, full command, lance and a stalk is standard. Next to them, Imperial Guard, full command, great weapon and a rending banner. And as we go down the other direction, heavy infantry, full command and spear, 24 figures. Next group of light infantry, 10 figures, handgun. And on the end, another group of riders, heavy armor, brace of pistols, 5 figures.
And in the night bus in the back is a general and a wizard adept with pyromancy. And he's got fireball and pyroclastic flow. And I forgot to mention, no mages in my army. No magic.
Oh, no magic?
No magic.
No.
Just to see what happens, right? Alright, so that was set up, and we'll get back to you after vanguards and maybe after turn 1. Alright, so we're back at the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 1 and vanguards. Spiders vanguarded up, the riders vanguarded towards them a little bit, and you see they're not on the table, but we'll get to that. And then the other riders vanguarded over here. And then turn 1, I moved up, but not crazy. And the spider actually sat where it was because I'm not a big fan of the cannon. At least it's a minus to shoot me. But that's how we moved up. And then in shooting, spider shot at the riders, spear chuck a shot at the riders, get launch a shot at the riders, and then these guys took a shot over there but did nothing. So in the end, Orcs and Goblins turn 1, we managed to get rid of the cavalry on this flank, but that is about it. I also forgot to discuss terrain. So real quick, we got a forest over here. Spiders sitting in a forest. Way over there, there's a forest next to the riders. There's a field where the cannon is at. We are treating this tower as a building today with all the wacky rules. And then way over at the edge of his battle line is actually a water feature. So we'll be back with the bottom of turn 1 after Empire. Alright, it's the end of turn 1. Bottom of turn 1, Empire is moved out. Here's a quick look at the board before we go into descriptions. And then going right on through, no charges, and Empire just sort of moved out as you see. Riders got real close to us here. And then in magic, lots of magic at the Great Green Idol, but no wounds. And a little bit of magic at this unit, and managed to kill a bunch of goblins with fireball. Because I don't have magic, I can't really stop him. He rolled a 2 on the wins, by the way. And then shooting. First and foremost, cannon at the Great Green Idol, and it misfired. A little bit of luck there. The riders moved right up and shot a bunch of pistols into this Night Goblin unit. No love there. More shooting from handgunners at this block. And way over here, his handgunners pivoted and fired, did a mess of wounds, 4 wounds, and they broke and ran, but not off the table. So hopefully they'll rally, and when we come back, it'll be the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. End of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. The Spider Raiders did not rally, ran off the table. That's a bummer, of course. And over here, everything kind of moved up. Some of it moved back. And my throwaway chiefs, the 35 or 40 point chiefs, have all been pushed out of the unit to chaff. Spider moved up, but he's not in range. No magic. Shooting, bolt thrower over here into the riders, picked off 1. Bolt thrower over here got 2 of the handgunners all the way over there. And then the get launcher tried to hit the Imperial Guard just to the center there and missed. So we'll be back with the bottom of Empire, turn 2. Alright, we're back with the bottom of the end of the bottom of turn 2 Empire. And they moved out like this. Some of the gunners in the back marched, some did not move. Orders that were given out: ready aim fire on the cannon, on the handgunners there, and then in the back the mage is using a veil token to put a couple of buffs on the knight unit there.
And this one has a good ability to
fight in extra rank. Yes, the Imperial Guard has fight in extra rank. Alright, so no charges, no combat, but in magic the mage went crazy with pyromancy. And one of the first things you did, 2 wounds on the spider. That was brutal. Couldn't make an armor save to save my life. And then a bunch of fire magic to thin down this regiment of goblins. In shooting, cannon missed, so that's 2 for 2 for the cannon, not getting anything done. Handgunners shot the spider, couldn't put additional wounds on it. The riders took on the cave goblin champion that was closest and murdered him with gunfire, and the other one panicked, started to run away. And that's it for shooting, and that's it for turn 2. So we'll be back with the end of the top of turn 3 Orcs and Goblins. Probably some charging going on at this point when I pull back the view here. Alright, top of turn 3 is done, and all kinds of stuff happened. Just all kinds of stuff. Spider Riders ran off. I don't know if I covered that, because it feels like it's been forever ago, but it hasn't. Movement and charges. Ended up sending the rock monster and the spider into the Imperial Guard, and then everyone else just sort of moved up a little. Some fanatics came out, some whirling guys, but they couldn't reach the spear unit, so that was a real big bummer right there. In shooting, the bolt thrower took another rider down. This bolt thrower missed, and I finally misfired with the get launcher. Bound to happen. Which takes us to combat, and we beat the Imperial Guard unit handily, but he put a wound on the spider and the Great Green Idol. I let the Great Green Idol pursue. He didn't catch the Imperial Guard who were back there. I tried to tell the spider not to pursue, failed with the reroll, and now he's in the handgunners. That is actually in contact, and unfortunately the spider's all set up to be flanked now by the spear unit. So that is the end of the top of 3. Alright, we're back with the end of turn 3, bottom of turn 3. It was Empire, and he charged into the flank of the spider with the heavy infantry with spear shield. His cavalry backed up a little. The Imperial Guard rallied next to the cannon, and the riders shifted like that, so you can kind of see how everything worked
Riders
out.
also scored a hit on the rock.
Yeah. So in Magic, pyroclastic flow all over the Rockman, and you plucked out a few here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in shooting, the rider put a wound on, and I think your handgun unit over there, right? Plucked a dude or two out of this unit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the big story of turn 3, the cannon misfired. So 1 miss and 2 misfires with that cannon today. Not great.
It's a primitive cannon.
Primitive cannon. In combat, we did a bunch to his spear unit and a few to his handgunners, but he put 2 wounds on the spider, bringing it up to 5. And in the end, it was a drawn combat. So we're all stuck there. And that is the end of turn 3. End of top of turn 4, Orc turn 4. A Great Green Idol charged into the cannon. Gobos charged the riders, who chose to flee. Normal moves, I just sidestepped here. And no magic in shooting, nothing much, except I managed to hit some Imperial Guard with the Get Launcher, but couldn't make them run. And then in combat with the spider, he put a wound on me, I put a bunch on him. He sticks, even though I won combat, because he's got a full rank, and I only count as 1 full rank if I understand the rule book right. So in other words, he's stubborn, because I would have to have 2 ranks, or he has to have 1 incomplete rank. If that's not right, leave a comment in the video. Let us know. Over there, Rock Monster took out the cannon and has now turned to face his unit of knights. So that is it for Orc and Goblin turn 4. Back with the end of turn 4, bottom of turn 4 Empire. And the cavalry charged into the Great Green Idol. The riders rallied, and generally the board looks like this. In Magic, he wasn't able to cast anything because he was in combat, but he was able to put the Empire magical attacks and lethal strike buff up from his wizard on the unit. In shooting, a couple more goblins shot out of their respective units. In combat, Spider wins, but can't break either unit, up to 6 wounds. And obviously the Knights broke the Rock Monster, who's at 4 out of 6 wounds. So it's not looking good for Orcs and Goblins, who are basically down to 1 monster who's locked in combat, and we can't get in there to help. That may be something I forgot to mention, but my unit is actually too wide to fit into the flank there because of the building and the spider. So there was no way to get in there to help. And that is the end of turn 4. Alright, top of turn 5 is done for the Orcs and Goblins, and things have completely unraveled, as they usually do. The Rock over there, he rallied, but that's all he could do. I charged into the riders, who stood, and we beat him in combat, picked up those points. But over here, the spider finally gave way, and we couldn't finish off the spear unit, who's down to just the champion, so I'm not going to get the points for that guy, and the handgunners and all that. So, yes, I'm just down to a handful of goblins and a Rockman. And that'll bring on bottom of turn 5 Empire, where things are looking a lot better. Alright, and we're back with the end of turn 5, and actually the end of the game. So what happened? Basically, his gunners, both there and there, just stayed put and continued to shoot the unit and put a ton of casualties on them. There they are over there. His knights charged the Great Green Idol, defeated it soundly because his knight with the his general with the light of Sanshal put the last wounds on. That is just a wonderful sword for fighting monsters. Obviously, they reform like this. I could charge him, but I'm not going to put a dent in it. And then it just looks like that. So at the end of turn 5, we have an Empire victory. Not bad. like I said, I will do a video later about the campaign that this revolves around. But basically, the Empire has just taken a piece of Orc and Goblin territory, and is the first victory for the Empire, right? I think so, right?
Yeah, it's the first time we're playing this Empire in this campaign.
All right.
We played Equitane last time.
All right. All right, but this has been Empire of Sonnenstahl versus Orcs and Goblins, 9th Age version 2 point whatever. 5 turns of pain. Don't use non-magic armies unless you're crazy. And thanks for watching.